Is gambling just a roll of the dice, or do we need to bring our brain to the table too? Today, we hitch a ride down the Las Vegas Strip and debunk some myths surrounding the world of gambling. In the betting universe, Lady Luck is often crowned queen, especially when we're talking about games like roulette and slot machines. These games are as random as your cat's mood swings, with outcomes determined by sheer happenstance rather than any form of talent. Now let's crash the party and get a better look at how chance works in these games. When you spin the roulette wheel, each number has as much chance of being the chosen one as a snowflake in a blizzard. And slot machines? When you pull that lever, each symbol on the reel has an equal chance of hitting the pay line. They're like the contestants on a reality TV show, all hoping for their moment of glory. The key thing to remember here is that these games are independent events. It's like flipping a coin. Even if you flip heads 10 times in a row, the next flip still has a 50-50 chance of being heads or tails. So don't get cocky. It's just like having a conversation with a toddler. You never know what's coming next. This unpredictability is a fundamental aspect of these games. It's what makes them as exciting as accidentally finding money in your old jeans. But it's also what makes them a gamble. Every time you place a bet on the roulette wheel or feed a coin to the hungry slot machine, you're essentially playing a game of chance. You're putting your money on the line in the hope that Lady Luck isn't on a coffee break. But while luck plays a starring role in these games, it's not the only actor on the stage in the world of gambling. There are games where your brain gets an invitation to the party. Games like poker and blackjack, for instance, require more than just blind faith in the goodwill of the universe. So keep your lucky rabbit's foot and four-leaf clovers handy, but don't forget to bring along your thinking cap and strategy guide too. But what about games like poker and blackjack? Are they just about the flip of a card, or do we need to play our cards right? Let's find out, and may the odds be ever in our favor. Now let's contrast luck-based gambling with skill-based gambling. Picture this. You're at a poker table, surrounded by opponents, each with a unique strategy and a distinctive poker face. Unlike roulette or slot machines, where your fate is determined by the spin of a wheel or the pull of a lever, here, your decisions matter. Poker is a prime example of skill-based gambling. It's not just about the cards you're dealt, but how you play them. Strategic thinking, probability calculations, and the ability to read your opponents are all crucial skills in this game. Imagine you're dealt a pair of aces, the best starting hand in Texas Hold'em poker. The thrill is immediate, but so is the decision-making. How much should you bet? Should you play aggressively or conservatively? The answers to these questions aren't determined by chance, but by your understanding of the game, your assessment of the other players, and your willingness to take calculated risks. In poker, each decision you make, each bluff you call, each bet you place, shifts the odds in your favor or against you. It's a dynamic, ongoing interplay of skill and chance. But poker isn't the only skill-based gambling game. Blackjack, for instance, requires a keen understanding of when to hit, stand, double down, or split pairs. Even certain types of slot machines, known as skill-based slots, incorporate interactive bonus rounds that allow players to influence the outcome through their performance in a mini-game. So, what does this all mean? It tells us that not all gambling games are created equal. Some games, like roulette and traditional slots, are purely luck-based, where outcomes are entirely random and outside of your control. Others, like poker and blackjack, blend luck and skill, where your decisions can influence the game's outcome. So, while luck plays a part, skill also has a significant role in some gambling games. But how do we quantify this? Let's dive into the mathematics. Let's talk numbers. Understanding probability and odds is crucial in the world of gambling. Probability is the mathematics of chance, the study of random events. It's a way to quantify uncertainty. In gambling, it's the likelihood of a particular outcome happening. For instance, when you roll a die, the probability of landing on a 1 or any other specific number is 1 out of 6. This is because a die has 6 faces, all equally likely to land face up. Odds, on the other hand, are a different way to express the likelihood of an event. They compare the number of ways something can happen with the number of ways it can't. So, with our die, the odds of rolling a 1 is 1 to 5. This means for every one time you roll a 1, you'd expect to roll something else 5 times. But how do these principles apply to games of chance? Well, let's take roulette, for example. The wheel has 38 slots, one of which is the winning slot. The probability of your chosen number winning is 1 out of 38. The odds are 37 to 1. Knowing this, you can make more informed decisions about how much to bet and when. Consider a slot machine. Each spin is an independent event, meaning the outcome of one spin has no effect on the next. It's like flipping a coin. Even if you've flipped heads 10 times in a row, the chance of flipping heads again is still 50-50. Each spin is subject to the same probabilities, no matter what has happened before. Poker, a game of skill and chance, provides another example. Players use probability to calculate pot odds, the ratio of the current size of the pot to the cost of a contemplated call, to make strategic decisions. Understanding the likelihood of drawing a winning hand against the odds and potential payout is essential to long-term success. Knowing the odds and understanding probability can help gamblers make more informed decisions. But what about the myths that surround gambling? You've probably heard about hot streaks or lucky charms in gambling, but how much truth is there in these claims? Let's dive into some common myths and misconceptions about gambling and see what science and statistics have to say about them. First off, the myth of the hot streak. This is the belief that winning begets more wins. In reality, each game is an independent event. The outcome of one roll of the dice, spin of the roulette wheel, or shuffle of the cards has no bearing on the next. Sure, you might have a lucky day where you seem to be on a roll, but statistically speaking, this is just a coincidence. Next, we have the notion of lucky charms. Some gamblers swear by a lucky rabbit's foot, a special pair of socks, or even a specific routine before they place their bets. However, there's no scientific evidence to suggest that these charms or rituals have any effect on the randomness of gambling outcomes. They might boost your confidence, but they won't change the odds. Let's also consider the gambler's fallacy. This is the belief that if a certain outcome hasn't occurred for a while, it's due to happen soon. For example, if a roulette wheel has landed on red several times in a row, the gambler's fallacy would suggest that it's bound to land on black next. But remember, each spin is independent and the odds remain the same every time. Finally, there's the myth that the house always wins. While it's true that casinos are designed to make a profit, this doesn't mean that every individual game is rigged against you. Games like poker and blackjack, where skill can influence the outcome, can offer players a fair shot at winning. These myths can lead to unrealistic expectations and unhealthy gambling habits. It's important to approach gambling with a clear understanding of probability and odds. Remember, while there's always an element of chance, skill and strategic decision-making can significantly influence the outcome in certain games. Understanding the balance between skill and luck and debunking these myths is key to responsible gambling. Whether a game is based on luck or skill, responsible gambling is crucial. This statement is as true as it is essential. As we delve into the world of betting and gaming, it becomes increasingly important to underscore the significance of responsible gambling practices. Gambling for many is a form of entertainment, a way to enjoy the thrill of the unknown and the excitement of the game. But like any form of entertainment, it should be approached with a clear mind and a well-thought-out plan. Firstly, setting limits is fundamental. Before you start gambling, decide how much money you are willing to lose. This might seem like a pessimistic approach, but it's a realistic one. It helps to protect you from the potential pitfalls of chasing losses. Next, managing your bankroll wisely is crucial. This means not only setting a budget, but also sticking to it. If you find yourself on a losing streak, resist the temptation to bet more in an attempt to win back your losses. Similarly, if you're on a winning streak, don't get carried away. Always keep in mind that the house always has an edge. Moreover, it is essential to understand that gambling should never be viewed as a reliable source of income. It's a game of chance, and the odds are usually stacked against you. The thrill of the game should be the driving force, not the potential financial gain. Lastly, if you ever feel that your gambling habits are becoming problematic, don't hesitate to seek help. There are numerous resources available, including counseling services and support groups that can provide assistance. Let's not forget that gambling, when done responsibly, can be a fun and exciting pastime. but it requires a sound understanding of the rules, an acceptance of the risks, and a commitment to playing within your means. So as we wrap up our exploration of luck and skill in gambling, it's crucial to remember this key takeaway. Gambling should be about entertainment, not a way to make money. Stay informed, understand the odds, and always gamble responsibly.